Hello and welcome to Larissa's Kitchen. Today I'm making gumbo. Now before any of you flip out about authentic recipes, gumbo is just stew from the South. So relax and sit back and enjoy our take on this bounty from the bayou. Our gumbo is not going to be simmering for hours. It goes together pretty quickly. We're also going to be serving it over rice, and we're going to need to put that together first. So for the rice, we're going to need 4 cups of water, 2 cups of long grain rice, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. We're going to get that into a saucepan and start it. Next up, we're starting in on the gumbo itself. I know what you're thinking. This looks like a lot. But I've got it organized in the order that we're going to be using it, from right to left. First, we're going to be browning 12 ounces of Andoullie sausage along with 1 medium chicken breast that's been cubed and about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once the meat is fully cooked, we're going to remove that from the pan and start in on our roux. That's 1/2 cup of olive oil along with 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to cook this roux until it's brown and smells very nutty. After that, we're going to add in our spices. That's 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne powder, 1 teaspoon of white pepper, 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme, and a tablespoon of celery seeds. This is 3 cloves of garlic that have been finely minced along with 1/2 cup of fresh parsley that's been roughly chopped. We'll cook those in the roux until they become soft and nicely fragrant. I've also got kosher salt and fresh cracked black pepper that we'll be adding to taste. After that, we'll add in 1 green bell pepper and 1 medium onion that have been very roughly chopped. Once those vegetables are tender, we're going to add in 6 cups of chicken broth along with 14 ounces of diced tomatoes in their liquid. All of this is going in the pot and coming up to a simmer. Once it's simmering, we're going to put the chicken and the andouille back in and allow it to simmer for about 15 minutes for everything to become tender. About 2 minutes from the end, we're going to add in 1 pound of jumbo shrimp. So let's take this all over to the stove and start cooking. We're starting this rice first. I've got all the ingredients for the rice in the pan and I've got it on over about medium-high heat. Once it starts to boil, it gets turned down to low and then the timer gets set for 16 minutes. For this gumbo, I've got my large Dutch oven on over medium-high heat. This is 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and once this comes up to heat, we're going to start browning the chicken and the andouille. Okay, this oil is starting to smell hot, so we're going to add in the chicken first. Okay, I'm just going to take this out. Okay, in goes the olive oil. We're just going to let this heat up a little bit before we add the flour. While we let this heat up, we're going to scrape up some of these brown bits from the bottom. I've swapped over to this metal spatula because the wooden spatula just wasn't cutting it. Okay, this is nicely brown and it's ready to have our spices added. There's the cayenne, the pepper, and the celery seeds. We're going to add those first. Okay, next up we're going to put in the garlic. Okay, and then after this softens for just a little bit, we'll add in the parsley and the thyme. Okay, all that popping is just the water that was on the spices when I cleaned them. Okay, this is ready to add in our onions and bell pepper. Okay, I've turned the heat down to about medium-low. I don't want to scorch all these spices that are in here, but I do need to let these vegetables soften. Okay, this has been about 3 or 4 minutes. These are nicely softened, so we're going to go ahead and add our chicken broth and our tomatoes. And I'm going to turn this back up to medium-high. That was about a teaspoon. Our gumbo is just starting to simmer, so we're going to go ahead and put the chicken and the andouille back in. And we'll bring this up to a simmer and let it simmer between 10 and 15 minutes. We just want that chicken to be nice and tender. Okay, let's go ahead and add in our shrimp, and then we're going to get this served up in about 2 minutes. Okay, it's time to give this gumbo a taste. Now I'm serving it with some French bread slices. And I'll probably burn my mouth. Nice and spicy. Perfect.